Hi, I'm Kenneth
And I'm Taz, and welcome to the Late Night Show.
with Socks as Angels.
And today we have a very special guest, Dr. Faruqui, who will be talking to us about
Internal medicine.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Dr. Faruqui.
So, what do you do in your profession or research, and where are you currently working?
I am a doctor by profession, and my specialty is internal medicine. And I'm working with a non-profit organization called Shifa Healthcare, which has clinics all over Houston. And I'm basically managing and working in one of the clinics.
So, where did you go for undergrad and where did you go for med school?
I went for my undergrad school, college, and med school in Pakistan. And then I came to US, took all my boards, did my residency training here in US.
And how was your undergraduate education helpful in what you do now?
My undergrad education prepared me for the med school. Without my undergrad education, I think it would have been very hard to do the med school.
And what organizations were you involved with during your undergrad?
During my undergrad, not many organizations as such. My undergrad was 2 years of college. So it was quite intense. So we hardly had any time actually to do anything else besides academics and studying.
So, did you have any other interests besides medicine growing up?
Yes, a bunch of interest. I used to read a lot. Reading was one of my hobbies. I was into sewing. Growing up, I sewed a lot. I was also involved in playing. I used to play badminton with quite a passion. And let's say what else? I cooked.
Okay. How did you stay motivated as a student to continue medicine since the track is so long?
The track is long, that is correct. What motivated me was a bunch of things. First, a commitment to myself. I had made a resolve that I'm going to see it through. I'm not going to give up in the middle. And then my friends, family, everybody else around me encouraged me, kept me going. And I knew that I have to finish it. So I did it.
Okay, how do you use biology in your day-to-day activities within medicine?
Biology is, let's say, the first step towards medicine, or let's say the first step, towards studying human life or living organisms. So it's a prerequisite for medicine, and it is important, and it prepares you. It gives you the basic foundation towards the study of medicine.
When did you know that you wanted to work in this profession?
I would say in my like around 10th grade, that is the time we have to decide what field we want to go into. So in the 10th grade, I decided that I want to explore pre-med. So that was the time let's say I was thinking about doing medicine. Then I did, of course, the undergrad in pre-med and then into the med school. But 10th grade would be the time I would say, that I had made my choice of going into the field of medicine.
Did you do research with biology as an undergraduate student or a medical student? And if you didn't, do you wish you could have?
I actually did not. And yes, I do wish that I could have. We did not have many opportunities of research back home in Pakistan as an undergrad student and as a med school. I'm sure that things are different now. But back then, we didn't have many opportunities, and I miss that, and I wish I could have done that.
Do you think that you could walk us through your daily routine at work?
The daily routine at work. Okay, so let's say I start my clinic around 10ish, 10 in the morning. So I go to my clinic. My staff has already prepared a few patients for me. They have already triaged the patient, which basically means they have taken the vitals. Um, and they have taken the chief complaint, so they room the patient in. So I go and I see the patients. Um, and then we have some staff, the front desk staff, the back office staff, and they kind of help in running the clinic. And then pretty much my day starts at 10 in the morning, and I'm done by 3ish. So which primarily involves, and this is an outpatient clinic. So we accept walk-ins. We have mostly this is a walk-in clinic. So we see all the walk-ins who come in with all different kind of problems.
Can you tell us a little bit about Shifa Clinic, the place where you work?
Okay, so Shifa Clinic is a non-profit organization, and it has around 5 to 6 clinics all scattered throughout the Houston. And we primarily cater to patients with no insurance. So those people, those patients who don't have access to regular healthcare, so we cater to them.
What challenges do you see working at a nonprofit slash volunteer clinic?
Quite a few challenges. Now, let's see. Not my biggest, like one of the challenges is I'm very restricted in what I can prescribe to my patients because of the cost. Medicines are quite expensive, so then I have to, time I prescribe something, I have to find out the cost, check with the patient if they can afford it, and then prescribe it, which limits my ability to practice fully, or let's say limits my ability to manage them properly. So I'm quite restricted in that. And then my another, let's say, challenge is if I need to refer them out to subspecialists, or if they need specialty care, then we do have a pool of specialists volunteering, but they don't volunteer on a regular basis, and they have just specific days. So if somebody needs to be seen right away by a subspecialist, then it becomes a challenge, because then we have to send the patients out to private clinics, and it's become very hard for the patients to afford to see these physicians in their private setting, even though they try their best to give discounts or see them at a subsidized rates, but they are also kind of restricted because of certain rules and regulations, which only allows them to give a certain amount of discount. So now the other challenge, now let's see, besides these are the biggest challenges that I see in working in a volunteer clinic or in a non-profit organization.
If you could go back and give advice to your younger self, what would you say?
I probably, would congratulate myself, on sticking to it and doing it. But then as I mentioned before, I really missed out on not being able to do research as an undergrad student and in my med school.
Do you have any advice that could be useful to students now who want to pursue a med track?
The biggest thing or the advice that I could give is just be consistent and hard work. Any field you want to choose, regardless of whether it's a field of medicine or any other field, if you want to be successful, you really have to work hard. So that's the key to success. If you are a hardworking person, you are going to succeed no matter what field you choose. The other thing is, don't be scared by the number of years in the field of medicine, by the longevity of it. Even though right now it may seem to you a long time, so many years, but in the long run, couple of extra years really doesn't matter. If this is something that you want to do, then go ahead, don't be afraid. Just keep going on, work hard, and once you are through, once you're done with it, you're going to look back, and then you're going to think, that I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I stuck with it, because time passes. Believe me, right now it seems like the time is not moving fast enough, but time passes, and just a couple of extra years towards something that you want to do, it does not matter, and it doesn't really count those extra couple of years, because time is going to pass by, And at the end of it, as I mentioned before, that you're going to look back and you're going to say, I'm glad I'm stuck with it. I'm glad I did it. So just stay focused and work hard, because these are the years. Even though you want to go out and have fun, and that's fine, that's okay to go out and have fun and enjoy your college life, but the main reason that you are there is for you, because these are the years which are going to set a foundation for your future life. So these years are not coming back, so work hard, make the best of it. They are going to define your future. So just work hard and stay focused.
During your time as an undergraduate student, is there anything you did that prepared you for a future in medicine?
Okay, so I think good grades really matter, and I think my good grades too has just kind of prepared me towards entering the med school.
How did you decide to specialize in internal medicine?
To keep my options broad. Um, Internal medicine gives me the flexibility of doing a lot of things. I can practice in an outpatient setting, like in a traditional clinic. It gives me the option of, if I want to see more sicker patients, it gives me the option of seeing sick patients in the hospital, in the ICU. Also, if I want to branch out, and if I want to specialize in some subspecialty, internal medicine is a prerequisite for most fellowships in the field of medicine. So that was my main reason, to keep my options broad, and it gives me the flexibility of doing a lot of things.
And does that flexibility also work with your hours? Like, are your hours good in this field?
Yes, that's, I guess I would say, one of the perks of being in the field of medicine, that you can work part time. So I do work part time, and my hours are, well, not flexible, but they are kind of, they're not full time hours. So I work 4 hours in a day. So it kind of helps me in choosing my hours and choosing my days.
Do you ever have problems getting along with any of your coworkers, specifically nurses or PAs? And you can draw from any time in your career. It doesn't have to be right now.
Well, right now I think we have a very healthy environment in our clinic. Let's say it's everybody is friends with each other. We all get along very well. We all respect each other. We kind of all know how each one works. Like, my staff knows how I work, and I know how they work. So we kind of adjust according to each other to make things work and flow in the clinic. Now, in terms of having problems in the past, that's very natural. Everybody encounters problem in their lives, in the work, in so I did also, and there are always ways of dealing with it and tackling with it, and I did that. So it's a no. You would not encounter anyone in the life, who has not had faced problems at work or with the co-workers. That happens. But then it depends on how you deal with it. So I do not recall any incident in which I had a major issue. So those, whenever we had those, were minor issues which were always resolved.
Did you ever have doubts going into your profession? And if yes, what fixed them?
Yes, I did. Um, at the time I decided to go into the medicine, I was not 100% sure. I did like medicine, but at the same time, I liked a lot of other subjects, as it happens with most people. I was really interested in math also, so I was confused what career path I would like to choose. I chose medicine, but throughout the college and even halfway through the medicine, I always kind of questioned myself, had I made the right decision? But halfway through the medicine, towards the end of my med school, and especially after finishing my med school, I found out that this is really that what I wanted to do, and I was glad that I made the right decision, and I chose to go towards the field of medicine, especially after being done, when I realized how much I can help my community, how much I can help others. So this was fulfilling to me in various ways. It was fulfilling to me professionally, and it was fulfilling to me personally. So so down the lane, towards the end of my med school. So that's the time, I was sure, yes. But it happens to most people. Whenever there are very few people who are very focused right from the very beginning, and they knew exactly what they want to do. Most people, especially with the limited exposure in the high school and in the college, they are confused and they're not sure what they want to do. So they would always have doubts, but at certain point in the life, if they would find out if that field is for them or not.
If you could give advice to someone applying to work in your clinic, what would it be?
To work in my clinic. My clinic is a volunteer clinic. So although all it is, whoever wants to volunteer, a high school student and up, a college student or a med student, whoever wants to volunteer, they can always come. They just have to register with the clinic, and we come up with a schedule. We go with our schedule and their schedule. So they are welcome to come and volunteer in the clinic.
What has been the most rewarding part of your career?
Most rewarding part of my career is, I would say, the blessings that I get from my patients. As I mentioned, my clinic caters to people with no insurance. So these are the people who do not have access to healthcare. So when they come to the clinic and when they get help and they get treated, and when they give their blessings, I feel that is the most rewarding part of my day or rewarding part of my career.
What have been the hardest challenges during your education and career?
The biggest challenge was once I was out of med school, I would say, and I was into my training. So balancing family and work is a challenge, especially with the young kids. So when I was doing my residency, I had young kids at home. So, and we had to do, sometimes our rotations would last up to 36 hours. Every fortnight, we had to do a night shift. And then you had to work the whole day yesterday also. So that would count up to sometimes 36 hours. So balancing work and family, at the time, I would say in my career, was the biggest challenge. But then those years passed, and after that, things became much smoother and much more balanced.
Do you remember what classes were the most helpful for your career?
The basic sciences, biology, chemistry, some degree of math. Math does not come into play much during studying medicine, but I would say biology and chemistry. I guess, everything prepares you. So when you go to college, it's not, the college is preparing you in general to be able to take up the challenges of a med school and your career ahead. So it's not just your sciences does help you towards understanding the medicine, but just, to prepare you as a person, to be a good physician, to be a good clinician, to have empathy, to understand your patients. I think college in general, all the subjects prepares you.
Would you say that there's plenty of opportunity to be promoted or advance further in the field of medicine?
Yes, of course. Medicine is ever changing, developing, evolving, and new. The research is going on a regular basis, so things change, and yes, it is changing, evolving, developing, and there's the medicine 100 years ago to now, what it is right now, and I'm sure it's going to be very different 100 years, not different, but it's going to be very advanced 100 years from now.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking to us today, Dr. Faruqui.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm Neha.
I'm Afra.
Special thank you to Dr. Sada and Dr. Faruqui for this interview. This has been the Late Night Show with
Sada's Angels.